Good afternoon. Back again, exploring the mechanics of the brew station, brewing stand, item transportation method, and you see some big things out behind me. One thing that I did figure out, and I made a post, just a text post on this, about Gordafame's video that he explains everything in Spanish. It's difficult for me to follow. I got to looking really close at what he was using as a non-stackable item filter. Well, the brewing stand doesn't provide any mechanic for that. If you zoom in on, or not zoom in, but if you pause it in one spot, you can see the standard redstone, hopper, comparator, all that circuit that is pulling out the unstackable items like swords and armor and stuff like that from a typical hopper chain, and then just putting them into the droppers. And then the way in the section that he was talking about, which was kind of confusing because everything again is in Spanish and I'm having to read the translated captions to understand what he's talking about. It's just the non-stackable stuff gets shot off to the left and the stackable stuff gets shot off to the right. And he does make it fancy on how they are shot off in either direction and how they're bouncing down from brewing stand to brewing stand into a little collection area. So I'm like, okay, that's an interesting thing. And it's one thing that I probably need to go back and look at, how to bounce items from up or down to get where we're at now. But I did go to his last section was integrating this into a Trident killer, which is a bedrock feature that we can use tridents to kill things. And that is, I've spent a little bit of time trying to get it right. I don't know if it's perfect, but let's go take a look at what I have back here. Now, as you see, I have a spawn egg of a zombie piglin in my hand. So I'm just going to throw zombie piglins up in the top of these. So let's go to this one here, because this is probably the one with the most front facing on it. Basically, the top here is a variation of the Omladu's killing chamber, where you have the tridents there in the middle. You do knock out one of the corners, and I have a iron bar in there. You probably use copper bars, obviously. Gordafame uses glass panes. I think I got iron bars to work a little bit better. It's a little bit less of a failure rate. And you can see my change on this from, if you do go to Omladu's video, which I will provide a link for it in the description. For his killing chamber, his Trident chamber, he uses observers on two sides. I'm using it on all four. So just to see that string move right there in the middle a little bit better, which triggers the pistons and all that they do. So, I mean, I don't even bother using this switch. I just use the observers triggering it. That way it only goes off when there's something in there moving around, which is typically when something falls in there, it starts moving around. So underneath the iron bar is a brewing stand, and I've got it surrounded on three sides with glass. I guess it really need that. I do have a skulk sensor or skulk catalyst over here to eat all the XP, because XP is just laggy and I just don't want to deal with it. It's just all over the place. I don't need it for this tutorial. This is not needed for this design. That's just to get rid of the XP. And in fact, in my Sky Bedrock playthrough world, I haven't even got to the point where I have Skulk available to me. I've not been to that section of the world to even get it. So I'm just using it here for purposes of get the XP out of the way. And I have tried this at multiple levels. I had to basically bounce it down 2, put an extra ice block in here, bounce it down 2 before I could put in my first brewing stand. And this is the setup where you put a slab to the left. It will not go left. You put a slab on the near side. It won't come towards you. And you put a slab on top, because that just kind of controls everything when you're making turns. A little bit, especially when we did that over here on our change direction, where this will change direction in the proper way and this changes direction in the opposite way. And what I mean by opposite way is when we were doing this one over here, I was like, oh, you can only turn away from the ice, or toward, away from the ice, which we have found with the help of Yasser, by putting the slabs in the appropriate places and on top of one of the two, you can get it to turn whichever direction that you like. So that's why I'm using the slab on top here, because it just eliminates a little wildcard variable of something coming out. And then obviously here is the next one that keeps pushing it down. And over here, I just have some lava to destroy of all the items, because I don't want to collect them. I don't want to keep them. I just want to see this thing work. I want to see the items come out, and I want to see them go over here to the right. And from this point is where they would go into a sorting system, a filter system, whatever you want to do with them. For the purposes of testing this, I just want to throw it in the lava and throw it away, which, as you can see, I have made 4 of these. Basically, I took one and then I rotated it 90 degrees. Then I rotated 90 degrees. Then I rotated 90 degrees and did it again. So we get all the directions. I have not tested all the directions. This is the one that I tested. This is the way that this is the exact copy. This is rotated 90. This is rotated 180. This is rotated 270. So let's see what this does. This is the opposite layout, direction, cardinal direction. We are going to be, let me grab a flag here. Which direction are we facing? North is that way. So north is back towards the rest of the builds. So the chute with the iron bars is on the south east side of our killing chamber. So this only starts to work once I throw some zombie piglins in. I can throw any mob in there I want. Now I have noticed some items come out low. Like they're coming out at such an angle, or coming out of one of those 4 holes, which I don't know why, but they don't have the momentum to make it all the way here. But if I have this closer, and I've tried multiple variations of this, it won't be able to shoot down the middle line and catch our next brewing stand. They'll end up down here on the ice and they'll get stuck if I'm closer. Not all the time, but a significant portion. And even in this setup, it happens very, very rarely, but in the testing that I've done so far, it has happened. Now, perhaps something will go by that has the same. No, it just got caught up there. Another gold ingot got caught. And sometimes it catches up here. Not sure what to do about that right there, because I've got this closed off. And I just grabbed it because I was close enough. But I've got this closed up where basically it's coming down on this far edge, and it's not hitting the hitbox for the brewing stand in there. That hitbox is like that. If it's coming down in the little space between that and the edge, it's not going to catch the brew stand. So those things are rare. I collected all those as well. Yeah, it's difficult. And you see the skulk is gathering in there, but the pistons are going to knock it off. See, a lot of the stuff just comes flowing out, but a handful of things do not. So this may need to be investigated a little bit further to be, oh, this is going to work 100% of the time. Because a hopper, or a collection of 4 hoppers down there, is going to work 100% of the time. Yeah, if you used, instead of ice and the iron bar, if you used mud blocks and a collection of 4 hoppers, it's going to collect everything. And that may be what ends up happening for my system, just to make sure that I don't have random items just sitting here with not enough momentum to go. So that was facing, basically going off in the south direction. I have tested north. Let's look at east. See, most things come out perfectly fine, and they make it into the transport. But a couple of things do not. It is just not 100% reliable. I'm not sure what can be done to fix that. See, and I'm noticing that other like items are coming by, that the items are not stacking. Let's look at the one going to the west. See, there's the random instance where it had too much momentum and it got stuck, because after it hit the brewing stand, it was still had enough momentum going in this direction that it got caught down there. So, and we could probably solve for that if we move this entire line over one block. But that just gives more of a chance for something that doesn't have enough momentum to make it over there. So this is definitely something that needs a little bit more investigation, a little more fiddling, playing around. Anybody that wants to fiddle around with this design, you know what, I'm probably going to take this world, maybe even after this episode, and put it on my Planet Minecraft account as is right now, and anyone else can come in here and just, you know, download it and be like, oh, I want to experiment, I want to play. So I'm going to link to the Trident Chamber that Omladu designed. This is very, very similar to the one that I use in my world, both in my overworld spawner, which I'm going to grab. Zombies, and where's some more? Skeleton and creeper. So, I have it on fire because it's daytime. Why is it not going off? There it goes. It has to wait for movement. That is the thing about this design. They're all at full health, and that's why it's taking so long. But you see, stuff gets stuck in the back. Stuff gets stuck without enough momentum. And we showed over here one of these. It's already picked up. Stuff gets caught with too much momentum. So it is something to look into. Yeah, I think I'm gonna, at this point, I'm probably going to save this world and put it on Planet Minecraft. I'll put a link in the description. Anyone else can download it and start playing with it and experimenting and see what else we can figure out between all of the different mechanics on this brew stand. Because this right here is, I think, a great idea for any sort of item movement in the Nether. Because you can't use water streams in the Nether, guys. You have this, you have pistons and ice, and you have hoppers. That's it. All you got. So, yeah, let's see where this goes. I probably am going to be streaming tonight, my Sky Bedrock World tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. If anybody wants to watch it, I'm still in some boring build phases. I'm probably a couple of days away from using all of the stuff that I've been learning about here in building in my world. And what I would do is I would build in my creative world and then save a schematic, go to holoprint, save the design, and then be in my survival world to build it off of the design. I want it working before I build it. So I'm several days away, probably this week, that I'm going to implement all of these. Maybe not the kill chamber moving. I might keep that as hoppers, since from my kill chamber to the launcher, from my kill chamber to where my launcher is, where one of these would be, is only 6-7 blocks away, 8, and it comes in from 2 sides. So it would be interesting, and maybe, I don't know, because I don't know. It's I've got to think about it, because I really would like to get this whole thing solved for the amount of items that come out, so there's not a huge backup. Because right now I've got 2 streams coming in that I'm going to be popping out of the launcher at hopper speed, or not at hopper speed, at this clock speed. So 1 tick delay. So I would like to actually make that a little bit faster for sending things out. Because I'm going to send them out. They're going to be going about 20, 30. Yeah, almost 2 whole chunks, almost 32 away from where my kill chambers are to where my initial filter system starts with a turn. There's going to be a turn in there. So those are things that we're going to be looking at in my world here soon, in the next few days. So hope this gives somebody some inspiration on making this a little bit better. Maybe there is a better design than this. I did only spend like an hour or 2 making the initial design, and then I put it out here because it's reliable enough to share with people, I think. Anyways, if you watch this far and seen my other videos, if you haven't seen my other videos, please go check out this playlist. Check out my other playlist. I would appreciate a like and subscribe, and hopefully this thing can be bigger than what I'm making it so far. Y'all have a good day, everybody. Bye.